Hello, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. My name's Denise, and this reading, I'm going to dive into the outcome of the investigations into the Capitol riots, or riot, I should say, January 6th Capitol riot on Trump. This one will dive into Trump's, Donald John, Terrorizer-in-Chief Trump. I've done... So far, Alex Jones is in there, but I'm going to do Trump's, Roger Stone's, Mike Flynn, and his brother, Charles Flynn. If there's anyone else you want me to look into about that, let me know. And I've got a list with, what's his name, Paul Gosar, a Republican from Arizona, and Mo Brooks, and Billy Long, and Matt Gaetz. I've done his, I think... Hold on, where's my list? I think I've done Matt Gaetz's Karma. Yeah, I've done his Karma reading. So I think it would probably be in there to look at his future. And I've done Marjorie Taylor Greene's as well. Okay, so let me get back into Mr. Flump. So how is it going to go? What are the forces in motion in his life because of the Capitol riots? Okay, so we have the Three of Wands reversed. His challenge with this situation is the Ten of Swords. Yeah, boy, that sure makes sense. And instead of any like karmic, because I've already done his karmic reading, I'm just going to do 5 cards up here to show what's coming down on him. What will the outcome be? And it can show sequentially as well. But let's see, what will the outcome be based on the investigation into Donald John Trump's role in the January 6th Capitol riots? Okay, so let me move these up here. I can always draw more cards if need be, or maybe even I'll just use... what do we call the Kipper or the liniment, something like that. Let's move these out of the way. Okay. So diving into here to the Three of Wands reversed, this card, when it comes to reversed, it has to do with being a really, really bad leader. You know, I mean, a good leader puts things out into the world that's for the greater good of the whole, or at least his community, right? When it's reversed, that's what's going on. People are going to see his leadership as being very dark. And this brings in a big setback into his life. And the challenge is, well, we could read this 2 different ways. The challenge is that this could bring, you know, his ending, a big betrayal. But this could also be read as looking at how he stabbed everyone else in the back. The challenge to him is that he betrayed his oath to the Constitution. So that's how I think is the best way to read it in this situation. Now up here with the Sun reversed, well, this is bad health, this is depression, this is negativity, this is failure. Sometimes brings in, well, I said that already, bad health. Because, you know, the Sun, when it's straight up, it's the highest energy card in the whole deck, and it has to do with your life force. So what's coming down on him is health problems. But, you know, like I said before, failure. With the Three of Swords reversed, I think this finally, I honestly feel like finally this could be something that comes in and says, hey, you don't get away with this. It feels to me, in combo with these other cards, is that his manipulative extremely manipulative heart doesn't, it's just, he's not going to get away with it anymore. This feels like people are alienating themselves, from him. And this creates a lot of loss in his life. And again, with the health issue, because straight up I always read this card as possibly betraying ourselves, because we betray others and we talk smack about others and we gossip, and it finally comes back to you. Well, when it's reversed, I think it's even worse, because it brings in the, health issues. But it also, because the swords always represent mental issues, and we've got, 2 swords here. This is a place where I think what's hanging down on him is he's completely distracted by that, this and all the other lawsuits. But this one, especially, because this one we're talking about treason. What he's done is treasonous. So, that's got to bring in a huge amount of distraction into his life. And I think someday he's going to, what's the term, rue the day? He's but it was more than a day. He planned this. The whole insurrection thing, the whole coup, he planned it all from way back. It started way back. And that's what they're starting to see, like the social media noise did just start displaying like around November, prior to January. So, but I think he was planning it all along, because he always said if he didn't win, that means that there was cheating. What an idiot. So anyway, I think it's going to bring in a lot of loss. And then with the King of Cups reversed, well, let's see. This to me is him being his manipulative, abusive, self, just trying to cheat. But I think it's just going to reveal that that's what he did. It's hanging over him. Bad leader who abused, manipulated, and cheated. And then with the Hierophant, what am I saying? The Hermit. Well, with the Hermit straight up, that can be isolation. It could also be imprisonment. In the old, texts of the major arcanas, they often talk about, the Hermit as being, sent away. When it's not coming from a place of, like getting inside of your guidance system, your divine guidance, which is what it's supposed to be. In this situation, I think it's isolation. Maybe he'll do some soul searching, but I wouldn't count on it. The dude's 74. I don't think he's going to do... I honestly don't know that he'll be around long enough to have his Uranus return that happens at 84, when you can really, wake up if you haven't in the past, or you can have an even greater breakthrough if you haven't in the past. I think for him, this means isolation. And then with the Ace of Pentacles reversed, this has him just not having any more money, not having any more cash, or going into debt. At the very least, it could be going into debt in order to try and protect himself legally. Yeah, and we've already seen his attorneys aren't very good. The only reason that he's made it and gotten away with what he's done is because of the complicit, what are some other words I might use for the GOP who have protected him? The enablers, the complicit enablers who are also bought and paid for by Russian oligarchs and probably Mr. Pooty whatever himself. little Mr. Stump. Or Stub. What do they call him? Stub, I think, because he was always so little. So anyway, let me pause this and use the Kipper real quick. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I'm using this little deck here from Ciro Marchetti, and I want to know what will be the outcome on Donald John Trump for his role in the Capitol riots. Okay, let's get these up here in frame. Well, I think the images on these cards tell the story pretty well. So we're looking into the future with these 10 cards. Our theme here. Well, this is kind of interesting. If this isn't Ivanka, oh, it is. She's gonna, what I get is she's gonna end up taking charge over the business. This is Trump right here. He's always, you know, the person that you're reading on, male or female, will be the main male or main female. And he's going through hell. He's depressed. This is in the future, so this is building up. He's feeling helpless and really insecure to the point that he can't even concentrate. He's just, you know, he's internally imploding. And because this card knights up here to this, you know, message of concern, well, this is, you know, really bad news for him that he's going to be getting. This is a big crisis. This is a confrontation. This would be a ruling that comes through. Who this mature woman is, I don't know. But the ruling that comes through is that, you know, he could be incarcerated for this. Because we're talking treason. Whoever this mature, if it's not a mature woman, let's see, what else could it be? I mean, it's an older person, so it's not Ivanka, but it could be Ivana helping her daughter do what's right. And it makes sense to me that that's what it is. If this is Ivana, I mean, that really is gonna, you know, fry his brains even more. But this card, these two cards are these 3 cards are the worst, and this one's no fun either. And then look what we have over here. So just looking at this card, I mean, you can see, if I bring the image up close, this is terrible. This is a card of major stress. It's normally called, you know, the stress card. Sometimes, other names, adversity. And in the old German deck, I think it was adversity. But this is like a card of being tortured with your own problems. This is major problems. This is a card of like self-destruction, self-sabotage. It's also a card of violence, nightmares, you know, sleepless nights. This is a lot like the 9 of Swords in the tarot, but worse. It's worse because it doesn't let up. There's demands made on you when this card comes through. So So yeah, I mean, you know, he probably would never go before a court, and you know, he would. I'm sure he'd plead the fifth if he had to. If he were drug in, I don't know if he'd ever say a word. He doesn't interview well. Um, there are tapes of him online where he didn't interview well at all before. In depositions, he's just an idiot. So yeah, I think that I think this is more just telling a story of how it's actually going to go. Ivana is going to be helping her daughter. Trump is self-sabotaging. He may be locked up because the decree comes through. And then here he is just stewing in his own negativity. And then, of course, it causes his health problems to even be exacerbated. And the community card, I don't know. I don't really know. Let me draw another one. That's kind of one of those cards where maybe it's just talking about how we all watch it, we all observe it. I mean, for if we want to say it's the community of United States of America, well, we would to bring these two cards together. We would see this as being a, you know, like sick, like his illness that came, and the community. Oh, I get it. This is also all the other people. This means that all the other people who aligned with him and who paid money, like Alex Jones paid that $500,000 to get people there or to organize the whole thing. So more is going to come out about that. I think that's what that's saying. So it might be that other players, all these other parties, are going to go through this same thing. Wow. Yeah. He's just going to be stewing over it. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to help for Don Jr. either. Yeah. So I don't know. Will he try to take off? Yeah, he may very well try to get away. Or this could be Don Jr. trying to get away. Don Jr. and Eric. But I think Vanky's gonna stick around and try to hold on to the businesses, or hold on to the business and do whatever she can. And who knows, she may even try to like run for president someday. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. Wow. Okay, well, that's it for this one. Thanks, you guys. Bye.